Hello everyone, welcome back to the Yellow Brick Road Tarot. Once again, I would like to apologize for my hiatus. Um, to be honest with you, I'm looking after a toddler, and sometimes I just got to take a step back. I've got to take a step back, and I've got to just be like, recenter myself, and we're starting over again. I am so excited to film this video. This video, a little bit of backstory if you don't want to hear me blather and you're like, girl, get to the reading. I've left the timestamps are in the description. This video is the whole reason why how I discovered tarot readings on YouTube. And shout out to Kino Tarot, because that was the first tarot reader I found on YouTube doing pick a cards. And it's actually the reason we're here right now and you're watching this video. Like it has been a crazy journey, but like that was the seed that was planted. That is the reason we are all here today. So yes, I'm very excited. This reading means a lot to me. I'm not going to put too much pressure on it, but it does. So yes, we're going to be looking at messages from spirit concerning your future spouse. Now, disclaimer for this video, I am allowing spirit to take the lead when it comes to the information that is maybe you need to know right now. So we're keeping this kind of broad. We'll maybe narrow down in further videos, but for this one, we're just letting spirit take the wheel. We're just seeing what comes through. And yes, so without further ado, I will see you in your piles. Okay, bye-bye. Hey Pile 1, welcome to your reading about your future spouse. Now, or long-term soulmate, or something along those lines. I'm just using future spouse, you don't necessarily have to get married. So as I'm tapping into your energy just before I press record, I have no idea what this song is, so I'm gonna have to look it up afterwards and put it in the description. I don't even know if it is a real song, but basically on TikTok, and I think it's by Beyonce, there's a song that's like, and the world is so blue. That's what I was feeling. That's the song I was hearing when I was tapping in. I was seeing the color blue, but it was like an ocean blue. You know, when you see, if you've ever been to the Caribbean or you've seen videos of it or anything like that, where the water is like, you can see to the bottom of the seabed and it's just clear and it's that light blue color. That's what I felt as I was tapping in. So, yes. Now this reading is going to follow a semblance of order. It's not just going to be completely insane. I am starting with an energy check for this connection. And this is from the Sacred Forest Oracle. It's already been shuffled, so let's get straight in for my pile number 1, future spouse. We have Forest Temple Enlightenment. And I'm just feeling like we're going to get one more. Really drawn to this gold color. We have 2 more. Okay. We have Hummingbird Spirit Joy. And we have Secret Spring Success. So right away, I feel like this reading might have something to do with you inquiring about timing. This might be my pile that, I don't know, that feels like you're concentrated on timing, or you're wondering where they are, or it might feel like you've done a lot of inner work and you're thinking like, okay, so where's the payoff? As I said, I'm super drawn to the gold on this card, and this kind of feels like where you're at, right? You know how I was talking about you being at a place with the inner work where you're like, okay, so what's going on? The first thing that I felt with Secret Spring Success was that you are going to meet them at a time where you've reached some kind of pinnacle when it comes to your career, or material success slash safety, feels more concerned about safety, where you're in a place where everything feels like it's completely in order in your kind of grounded material world. You've reached a state of inner peace. You've reached a state of acceptance. Like, I don't feel when we're talking about timing like this is coming across as frantic. Like you're being like, oh, where are they? In a really kind of like, frantic state. I'm also feel like there's this kind of yearning, this curiosity, this patient waiting, even at times if you don't feel like you're being patient, there is something in yourself where basically you don't feel like you desperately need this. It's more just like, oh, it would be nice if they could show up. Like, where are they? That feels like more so your energy right now. So, yeah, there's something here where spirit is definitely focusing on timing for you. In terms of your connection, it would make sense because in terms of the material success or some kind of career development or big step or something you're achieving out in the world, it feels very financial, very career based, I'm not going to lie. This person comes in and it feels like they almost complete the picture. And I know a lot of people would say, well, there's a common thing where people are like, oh, another person isn't meant to complete you and etc., etc. But it's more so they complete your life. Does that make any sense? Like, rather than you feeling incomplete without them, it's just sort of like they come in and they complete your life. And I think when you meet them, you will understand why it was important that you got this career milestone first, or kind of alongside meeting them. Maybe even, no, it's not through them. It could be actually, maybe even through them. And it feels like they're quite a high flyer too. This could be my group of like really, really high achievers in terms of traditional versions of success. And so I think when you meet them, it really feels like a true match. There's no like insecurity, because I don't know, it feels like you're someone who, again, as I said, is very high achieving, and so are they. And so it almost feels like you guys needed to sync up in the real world, in terms of your achievements for some reason. Why is that? I don't know. There's something about inadequacy that could come out if the timing wasn't this way, and that could be on either side. Um, you might have you might be a person that has previously dated people who were either further ahead or a few steps behind your progress, and for in your brain that might correlate to chaos or disorder or toxicity or things not working out. So there is something about spirit really wanting you to nail down your safety. I keep wanting to say the word safety, and there's another word I'm actually looking for, but I keep wanting to say like your material safety. Feeling like you have a really solid ground under your feet. And they're even bringing me to the idea of like, when you meet this person, it will really help you to regulate if you know that you can very easily leave the situation if it goes sour. Like, you might be a bit like me, where I feel like in order for me to fully relax, that is something I've got to work on. In order for me to fully relax, I need to know where all the exits are. Just in case. Not that it's because I believe that I'm going to leave or it's going to go horribly wrong or I don't trust the person, but it's just like to soothe myself. I need to know where the exits are. That might be something you actually work through in this relationship, to not always need to know where the exits are, to actually be fully locked in. I mean, this is your future spouse or like future long soulmate, long-term soulmate. So I'm assuming you're going to be locked in, right? But yeah, initially it might just be spirit preparing you in this way, like knowing that for you to fully receive and enjoy this, you need to have that sense of safety. Um, whatever that looks like for you, whatever that next step would be for you. I'm feeling like that is in the works. This might be something you're currently working on, or thinking about working on, about to start working on. Honestly, this might be the pile that is the closest to meeting this person, um, or has already met them, but is aware that you've got other priorities at the moment. Could this be someone that's worried that, like, you're almost wanting to rush yourself or push yourself to be more available because you're concerned that it's going to like slip out of your grasp? But there is a message to like slow down. Like, it's all happening on time. It's all happening for your best timing. Does that make sense? It's all happening in the best way for you and the other person, obviously. They might have dealt with similar situations where they are also looking for a really equal match. And because we have Forest Temple Enlightenment here, this is not just an equal match materially or financially or whatever. This is also, you and this other person have also reached this inner growth. You've really been looking inward. You've really been working on yourself. And it feels like you've gone through a lot and reached the point in the healing journey where you're like, everything's actually okay. Like, I'm not in a rush. I'm not trying to dissect every single part of myself. It's not that I have nothing to work on or I'm not going to continue growing, but there seems to be an easefulness inside you, in your inner world. There seems to be a level of like quiet. It feels very quiet in your, God, it's actually really nice to sit in your energy. Like, I'm not even joking. You don't know how badly I need this. It feels like a refuge in your space. Um, if some of you are listening to this and it resonates, but then you're listening to me saying that and being like, that's not me, that's where it's heading. Like, that's where your healing is taking you, to this place of kind of silence. It feels really, really quiet. It's not that there's nothing going on, but it feels very peaceful. You know, if you walk in, I don't know if you guys, you know, the feeling that I'm getting when you in like a busy city, like you're in a city, there's lots of cars, there's lots of this, there's lots of that, there's noise, there's people, there's blah blah blah, and then you might go into like some gardens or something, you know, like public gardens. This is a really specific example, and you walk in there and it's almost like all the nature swallows the noise. So all you can hear is the birds, and you can see the little bees going from flower to flower, and it's just super peaceful. That is honestly how you guys feel, and I feel like that is how this relationship is going to feel. Like, that's the energy, of course. Because when I'm thinking about that song, it's just like, and the water's so blue. It's just so, just like, oh, it's just like I can relax. It honestly feels like a retreat. Like, this relationship feels so peaceful. It is so peaceful. It's so relaxing. Definitely. Now, I'm going to get into the tarot. And I picked out the Light Seers deck for you guys. Feels very fitting. Okay. Tell me about pile number one's future spouse. I'm curious. So we kind of know the journey to, or the point in your journey where you might meet them. And by the way, I just want to be specific, because this milestone, this Secret Spring success, feels like quite a big milestone for you. It feels like it's a point in your journey that, okay, I'm seeing like two lines meeting. So it's a point in your journey where you are internally feeling very peaceful, And also, your material reality lines up. So it feels like your life is very peaceful. It might get very quiet just before this person comes in, honestly. It doesn't feel like you're super out there, just like here, there, and everywhere, super busy. It doesn't feel that way. Some of you could even meet them on holiday, like on a really relaxing holiday, like a beach holiday. Feels like you could almost meet them there, although that just could be like the way that they feel to you. Let's see. Yeah, give me the energetic signature of pile number one's future spouse. How will they recognize their energy? Tell me about their energetic signature. Who are they? Tap me into the energy of pile number one's future spouse. Knock on wood. We have the Five of Cups. Interesting. I'm hearing that lyric from Janae Aiko. Janae Aiko is going to come up a lot in these readings. It's the lyric, both got a past full of sorrow. Let's cancel everything tomorrow. I always get lost in the moment with you. We have the Six of Cups. Like journeys converging. That's how it feels. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Tap me into the energy of pile number one's future spouse. We have the Ten of Pentacles. Period. One more, please, Spirit. Tap me into the energy of pile number one's future spouse. And we have the Chariot. Did I not tell you they were like you guys were close? I'm telling you, this is like an energetic closeness. This is an energetic meeting point. We have the King of Wands at the back of the deck. And we have the Ten of Swords at the front of the deck. So the first thing I will say about your future spouse is that you might find that a lot of the things that you have moved through in life, especially in regards to your relationships to other people, you guys are really mirroring each other's journeys. Like there's something about you guys really, really understanding each other because of the similarities of what you've been through. And I think that, you know, that peaceful feeling, that really relaxing feeling that I was feeling when I was tapping into the energy of you guys' connection is not just the energy you're naturally bringing. This is something you're both actively cultivating, both within you and with each other. And the reason I think that you guys are both doing that is because you understand what it's like when things are really chaotic, when people continuously let you down, when there is conflict, when there is upheaval. Like to me, when I'm tapping into you guys, you feel like very peace-loving people. You don't seem like, okay, I will say this, right? And this is no tea and no shade. There are some people that have a far easier time dealing with conflict. These people are not, they don't shy away from conflict. Conflict doesn't really rattle them. And there are some people that are very conflict averse. Like they literally, it does something to them that is just like, is very difficult to deal with. And I'm almost seeing both of you actually as children. And I'm not necessarily saying that every single one of you had, you know, really toxic, difficult childhoods, although you might have. I'm just seeing that the personality types that were around you were a bit more combative, noisy, maybe more argumentative, maybe have very strong opinions, big personalities, and it almost feels like you were kind of swallowed up in that. I'm seeing a child quietly sitting in the corner reading a book, and there's just like so much going on around you. Like there is a lot. And it's not necessarily negative. Like I'm really not picking up on like a deeply troubling energy. As I said, that could apply to you, but I'm not necessarily feeling that for all of you, like en masse. It just feels like it's a lot. There's a lot going on. Yeah, it feels like a lot, you know? And you might have been kids that escaped into, I don't know, reading or music or some kind of, maybe it was dance, maybe it was like, I'm honestly seeing something skateboarding, maybe it was like playing in nature or something, connecting with the earth, um, to try and bring you back to that peaceful place. It seems like something you have always wanted. I'm literally looking at something from across the room that says sanctuary on it. It says sanctuary spa, and that's what it feels like you've dreamt of having. And as I said before, I feel like you have cultivated this in yourself, and so both of you are really committed to having that sort of life. You feel like you were very, yes, because I'm seeing the Seven of Wands from this deck in my mind's eye. It is something that you will protect, both of you. You will protect this bond you both have and this commitment to having that peaceful life. It feels like it feels like you guys share the same dream in terms of what you want your life to look like. It's really, really aligned. And that might seem obvious, but for some people, they come together and they have to work that out. And for you guys, it feels like, no, you guys are really aligned on the kind of life you want to live. Like you both have a lot of the same vision. I do think because of, if I'm using my like logical side of my brain, the way that this feels is it does feel slightly older. Um, and maybe that's just because I live in London. So like I'm thinking in order to achieve this level of like security, most of the time I'm thinking you're in your 30s. But depending on where you are in the world, that might not be true. Some of you guys might get there at like 25. You know what I'm saying? And have your own house and have your own thing and like be able to do all of the above. But it does feel like you have that down pat, as I said before. Um, I love this person for you. This person is so, they might be kind of introverted. They might be a homebody. Um, I do get the sense that they prefer to have their peace and quiet. We've spoken about this. Sorry, I'm just taking a sip of water. I don't know why, but with the Knight of Pentacles here, they might be really, I don't know why I'm getting this, but they might be really into like, they might be very skilled, sorry, at like DIY or building things around the house. Like I'm seeing someone building like a porch bench and things like that. Like they might be into carpentry or really good with their hands when it comes to like those kinds of things. And they really value doing things the right way or doing things properly, even if it means it takes triple the time. They are really into quality versus quantity, and that applies across their life. That applies to their friends, that applies to their family, the people they hang around, their job. Like they really, really value having something that is quality that adds to their life rather than just having kind of like the excess. Um, honestly, they strike me as the sort of person that would rather live very simply and have high quality things, um, or have something that really has substance to it. Like, for example, they would rather take a lower paying job if it meant that they, were treated really well and they enjoyed the work they were doing and they got on with their colleagues and they liked their boss or whatever. They would much rather do that than kind of like have to work in a job where the boss is like fucking awful and whatever, but the money's good. Like they're not that sort of person. They are very much slow and steady wins the race. Um, with the Knight of Pentacles as well here, I feel they're very gentle. They're very, very gentle. Um, they honestly might not be super chatty. I'm not getting like a. You know what's really funny about it though? Because we have the King of Wands, sorry, at the back of the deck. There is something about them that might surprise you. So, what I mean by that is when you first meet them, the way that I feel, okay, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. When you meet them, the way that they present themselves to be and the qualities you discover in them are like, oh my God. Like it feels like every single time you peel back the layers, you feel like you're really impressed by them. Um, what I was feeling before is that it almost feels like an example I'm getting is you meet them in a group. And when they're in the group, they honestly don't necessarily stand out in that group. They're not, that loud. Maybe they don't really talk that much. Maybe they might not even show like an aggressive pursuit in that moment. There's something very quiet and thoughtful about them. But I will say, once you get to know them, like maybe you go on a first date or whatever, they have a really fiery, like fun side to them. So I don't know if you're meeting them through work or in some kind of scenario where, a lot of more people kind of are playing more of a role when it comes to work sometimes. Like they're not just allowing the full personality to come out. Well, some people are, but I feel like a lot of people are like kind of, bringing it down a level. And there's something about when you see them outside of this original setting you meet them in, you're like, oh my God, like they feel very adventurous. So even though they're a homebody, they might do kind of crazy things. Like they might be the type of person that's like, oh, I've been skydiving, I've been bungee jumping, I've climbed that mountain, I've done this, I've done that. Like they feel very active, I will say. It feels like when they're outside of the kind of setting you meet them in, so maybe like a work setting or a setting where they have to be a bit more serious, they are very gregarious. They are very fun loving. They are very assertive. I'm getting an assertive energy. Ugh. There's like a quality to them that is like, regardless of gender, it feels, I don't know, it feels like they can really take the lead. They can really take control. Um, in a way that might kind of surprise you because, as I said, in the original setting, they might not have taken on that role in the group. You know what I'm saying? Not that every single person is going to meet them in a group, but like in this particular example, for some reason, when you originally meet them, they don't seem like the sort of person that would be that assertive, that would be able to take the lead and take control in this way, or um, would be this fun loving person who's like adventurous and funny and super interesting. They just feel like you could get lost in their mind. Like it feels like when I'm seeing you guys on a date or whatever, I don't know what setting this is. I'm seeing like red and white tablecloths and like those round tables. Reminds me of like those old school like pizzerias or something because there's a little candle on the table. This is very specific. Um and I'm seeing the restaurant emptying out around you guys and you guys not even noticing because you're so lost in conversation, like, and it's laughing and it's joking and it's meaningful and deep, but it doesn't feel heavy. It feels just like, I don't know. Oh, that is so magical. That is really magical. This person, Yeah, I can almost feel when you get to know them a bit more, there is this like, there is this pleasure you feel from when you see them in this kind of more serious front facing persona. And there is this thrill you get from knowing who they are beneath it and kind of saying to yourself, like, these people don't even know. Like, they don't even know what he's really like, or she's really like, or they're really like. It's, I don't know, there's something you really get joy out of when you understand that there's so much beneath the surface for them, you know, that there is something so wholly unexpected about them and that they can shift between these personas because it's not it doesn't feel duplicitous or sneaky. It's just kind of the mask they put on sometimes. I even think that on, on a deeper level, like I can almost see like you guys laughing about it because there's something that maybe even he enjoys about people not fully getting his full this full spectrum of who he is. Um, when he first meets them, or like when he's got very surface level interactions, like through acquaintances or whatever. He might really enjoy the fact that people don't fully know him or know what's going on with him or knows what his life is really like. That is so funny that that's coming through. Um, so you have that to look forward to. The Ten of Pentacles. This is a very intentional person. And by that, I mean, that feels like such a loaded word these days. Like sometimes I cringe when I use certain words because it's just like I know the context it's often used in. What I mean by that is they are already preparing to, or they always have the goal in mind with whatever they're building in their life to share it with the people they care about. They are always thinking about the ways in which it could assist other people. They are the sort of person that takes their close connections really seriously and doesn't just want to. I'm almost feeling them saying like emotional support can only go so far. Um, I don't know. I don't know necessarily know if I agree with that, but that's what I feel like they're saying. Like, I know I need to have something practical. Like I need to give in like a practical way. I need something solid that people can actually have or take from. Um, it's like they want to be able to help on every single level. Um, not to diminish being a shoulder to cry on, but they're like sometimes people don't need that. They need like monetary support. They need somewhere to live. They need these kinds of things. Like that's what they really feel centered on. And that is also applies to their community as well. For some of you guys, they are very much involved in helping and aiding the community they live in or the community they came from. Yes, for some of you guys, your future spouse is very much involved in trying to uplift the community that they came from. So for some of you guys, they might have come from a space that was like, you know, poorer or and had a lot of, I'm seeing for some of you guys it was like drug and alcohol issues or things like this. And that might have even touched some of their family too. And so they're very invested in being able to basically share their wealth. Yeah, that basically is essentially what I'm seeing. Like they definitely are making that an absolute priority. Um, and I think they would want you to be aligned on that or be understanding of it, of like, you know, I have people to help. Yeah, they feel very not just family focused, but everybody that they honestly, it's even people that they feel like a very generous person because I'm even feeling like it's people they don't even necessarily know that well. Although it does feel like it feels like they're very well known in the community they came from, which tells me that where they live now, the setting they're in now is not where they came from. But I'm seeing when they go back, sorry, there's a lot of people like coming up to them in the street, or like, you know, he goes into the shop and he has long conversations with the person behind the till. Like, it feels like they are very much embedded in their community, for sure, including the community they're in currently, but it feels more important that they go back to where they came from. I don't know. The Chariot. Why do we have the Chariot? Honestly, it feels like they're on their way to you energetically. I don't know any other way to put that. Help me ground this, please, spirit guides. When I'm looking at this Chariot card, the way I feel is that there are no blockages at the moment. And we got that immediately, right? As soon as we open that reading, but they want to reiterate this message for some reason. There are no blockages. There is nothing preventing this from manifesting. Like, it feels like it's very much on its way. It feels like it's very, very much on its way. It feels like there's no resistance. There's no energetic resistance to this meeting happening. So I know we picked up on the timing in the beginning, so I definitely feel this is just a case of getting both of you in the right place at the right time to actually meet. That is the only thing left, to be honest with you. Like, that is it. It feels like it's on its way. I'm not joking. It really, really does. It really, really does. Okay. We're going to get 2 messages from your future spouse themselves to see what they want to tell you at this time. We are using the Shamanic Oracle. I just got this in a random crystal shop. Kind of close to my house, so yes. I haven't used it very much, so we'll see what comes through. I'm seeing a black woman with a ponytail and glasses, reading a book in a robe. I don't know why. I just thought I'd say it though. Like a curly ponytail. I don't know why I'm getting that. I'm seeing her holding a glass of wine. For my pile number 1's future spouse, what do they want to tell them at this time? I'm hearing it's only just begun. This is only the beginning. Ooh, number 4 with resilience. I trust the process I am engaged in. Maybe some of you were panicking a little bit, but maybe panic is the wrong word. It's only just begun. 20, it lives in me. I'm feeling like some of you guys might feel like you're at the end of a journey, but you're actually just at the beginning of one. And we have heritage. I welcome the memories I carry, number 32. Ooh, that's interesting. Hearing inner child work. What do they want to tell you? I don't know why this card is making me feel like, hang on. I welcome the memories I carry. This is a side message from your future spouse. It has nothing to do with the timing. It has nothing to do with you meeting. It is simply what they want to say to you. There might be some kind of family situation coming up for some of you right now. some kind of drama or chaos or simply a memory. And I'm picking up on a seed of shame. And your future spouse is coming to say, I understand. And you never, ever, ever need to be embarrassed about where you come from, about your past, about any of it. Like, I really feel that message they wanted to get to you right now. Do not ever, I'm almost feeling like, don't you dare be ashamed. Don't you dare feel embarrassed. Don't you dare feel like you need to hide this from the world. Like, they really want to reassure you. I understand. Not even I'm going to understand, I currently understand, but when we meet, like, I will completely understand this and you will not have to carry this by yourself anymore. Yeah, because there seems to be something kind of painful, but it seems like something that's currently happening because you guys have done so much inner work that I would really be surprised if there was something that was so buried you hadn't touched it. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like something has unearthed a feeling of shame in you. I don't want to speak over your journey because maybe some of you do have suppressed memories or things that you don't want to touch. But I almost feel them coming through and saying, like, this is a beautiful part of you. This is a beautiful part of your story because it's part of where you came from. It's part of who you are on some level. And what you carry is never ever going to be too much for me. It's never going to be too heavy. I'm never going to judge you. You're not judged here. Please don't judge yourself. Like, that's really what I feel. Letting go, it lives in me. It lives in me. Na, 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 na. What's that from? The Lion King. I don't know. There's something here, maybe. This feels like an entirely separate thing. I'm feeling with letting go, it lives in me. There is a message that they're bringing forward to say, whenever you want to feel my presence, honestly, talk to me, you can tap into my energy through your heart space. Like, if you, like, you can connect with me already. I know that might sound kind of crazy, but it's actually not crazy because I've literally done that before. So I know it kind of sounds crazy, but I feel like you guys kind of know what I'm talking about. Like, you can access my energy right now. You can tap into the energy right now. And I think that it's coming through as like a sanctuary, a place you can go to when the world feels really chaotic and crazy again. Maybe this is bringing through. Remember when I was talking about in your past how things might have felt very chaotic and noisy and just like a lot, maybe very overstimulating, just like there's a lot going on. And I felt like this relationship was the retreat. They're saying you don't have to wait to experience that energy. You can tap into it right now through your heart space. It does feel like you are a pile that meditates. I would be shocked if you guys do not meditate. Hey, if you guys have cultivated this level of peacefulness and you don't meditate, let me know how you're doing that in the comments because I need some of that. But yeah, that feels like the message here. Resilience. I trust in the process I'm engaged in. Trust what you're building. Trust that it will bear fruit. Trust that it will be worth it. Trust that your peace should always be first. Again, we have this number 4 and this feeling of safety, safety, safety. It feels like that's what you're currently building. And this is an Earth card. It feels like they're saying, keep pushing. Just put, like, you're so close, was what I mean. Not keep pushing. Don't push yourself to, like, exhaustion, but, like, you can do it. It feels like they're saying. Honestly, some of you guys, they are saying, keep pushing, keep going. Like, trust what's at the end of it. Trust what you're seeing in your head. Trust the reason you did this in the first place. Trust the reason you started. Trust for your vision. Trust your dream. It is going to come true. Some of you might be at a point where you've kind of, your hope is, or your faith is slightly shaky. And they're really, like, I think in this relationship, they are going to be your biggest cheerleader. The fact we have the King of Wands at the back of the deck, like, they are going to be very, very empowering. Like, it's already coming through here. They see you as this person that is so capable, that is so incredible, incredible, that is capable of so much. And this is simply a fragment of what I'm able to convey that they are going to bring. And they are saying, keep going, keep trusting this process. You can do this. You are so close, and it's going to be so worth it. And you might not think that things will really change that much, but I promise you they will. Keep going. You know what the image I'm getting? You know that, like, cartoon where it's this person who is digging, like underground? And one person, I think, and they turn away just as they're about to hit the diamonds, like the stack of diamonds. I'm almost feeling that. And I don't think you were actually going to give up. I don't think you were actually going to walk away from this. Truly, in your heart, I don't actually think you would. But this is your reminder. This is your sign. You are very close. You are so close. Do not give up right now. Okay? Yep, transformation. I start my unfolding. We have 22 again. 222, 22. Yeah. I was thinking about any other twos. I was like, repeating twos. Could be very significant sign for this connection. If you start seeing repeating twos, that could really mean something to you. So, anyway, I'm sorry that this was actually an incredibly long reading, but there was just so much to cover. I really, really hope you enjoyed it. I hope I did this reading justice. If it resonated, please let me know down below in the comments. If you have any suggestions at all, are always welcome for me. But any particular topics you would like to cover in this realm, in the future spouse realm, let me know, and we can maybe do that in the upcoming weeks. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, morning, wherever you are right now. And I will see you in my next one. Okay, bye-bye. Hello, Pal 2. Welcome to your reading on your future spouse. Now, hi. As I was tapping in to this pile, if any of you guys have seen Disney's Pocahontas, I know, deeply problematic. But that is the movie that came through with specifically the song I will link below. But it's when they're digging for gold that they believe is in the new world where Pocahontas lives. So that tells me that you guys, future spouse, you two might be from two cultures, two places in the world that might be at odds with one another. Yeah, there might be some kind of culture clash going on here, or there's something about the family you come from or your background and their background that don't usually mix, that don't usually mesh, that do not usually come together. That is the first thing I'm feeling. I'm just relaying the message. Okay. So we're going to get straight in with the energy of this connection. I will say this disclaimer. I forgot to say it to pile number 1. If you didn't listen to the intro, essentially in this reading, I am letting spirit take the wheel in terms of what information you need to hear about your future spouse at the moment. So no two readings will be exactly the same because no two things will come up. And there will be a different focus for each of them. So I just wanted to say that. For you guys, I'm imagining this is going to have a lot to do with, it almost feels like the role you're playing with each other, or the role your relationship plays, or your story of union. But let's see. So tap me into the energy of my pile number two's future spouse, their relationship. Let's do an energy check for their relationship. We have the element of air with cosmic whispers. I'm open to receiving invisible gifts. That is so interesting to me. Let's take one more. The energy of my pile number two's connection with their future spouse. The thing is, I'm asking this question, and as I'm doing it, they're leading me down a different path. It's like they want to talk about something else, but we will do this first because I did this for the other path. Inner light, I perceive the strength of my radiance. This feels like a really deeply, I want to say spiritual awakening in terms of your connection. It feels very spiritually, very powerful. It feels like a very, very transformative relationship. Now, I want to say a lot of relationships that are this meaningful are quite transformative by nature, but there are differing levels to that. This feels incredibly significant. Like I'm seeing the judgment card in my mind. Like it feels like almost like a reckoning. Like I'm seeing the image of like, this is so interesting. But I'm kind of getting the sense of being inside some kind of room or structure or world. And I'm seeing that cracking open, like I'm seeing you in an egg that's cracking open, and you realize there's a whole other world outside of where you were that you didn't even realize existed. I don't know, that's kind of crazy, right? That's what I mean by like, it feels like a deeply transformative experience because there's a lot here, okay? There's a lot here. I'm feeling a lot of feelings when I'm tapping into the way that that feels. Because if you can imagine you're living your life normally and you find out there's a whole other world that exists that mirrors this world in a lot of ways, but is different. That's the way that feels. So I'm feeling awe, I'm feeling wonder, but I'm also getting this sense of like, this is quite overwhelming. Sorry, I just need to take a sip of water. This is quite overwhelming. Yeah, it's like they're opening your eyes to like a whole different reality. That's why I was like, this could have something to do with spiritual gifts even. Like there is something that is like completely, you would never have thought that this would be possible on some level. I don't know what this means. I'm just going to pull one card from this fairy tale oracle that I have. I didn't do this for the last pile, don't tell them. My pile number twos, please. But I'm almost feeling like it awakens you to your true self. I'm getting a lot of fantasy tropes. So for example, I'm getting that line from Twilight. I'm getting the line from Twilight where Bella's like, it was never a choice between Edward and Jacob. It was a choice between who I am and who I ought to be. So interesting. Oh my God. And we have Glass Coffin Rebirth. I'm sorry, But what was I saying? What was I literally just saying? Yeah, let's just read from the guidebook really quickly. Give me one moment. So, we have Snow White, Glass Coffin, Rebirth. Be assured that spring will come again. Snow White's awakening is a resurrection from death. It links her to the dying and rising goddess Inanna and her descendants Ishtar and Persephone, who all traveled to the underworld and returned with the life-quickening forces of spring. Snow White wakes up from her wintry state and arises from her glass coffin, warm and alive and laughing and ready to fall in love and begin the cycle of life once more. Drawing glass coffin means you should know that you too can be reborn. Where there has been only coldness, you will find warmth. Where there has been darkness, you will find light. Where there has been despair, you will find hope. Winter is passing and spring shall come again. Can I just say something as well, guys? This oracle, I was about to give the disclaimer because, like, a lot of the time the cards in that book, they can be kind of harsh. They are not the most like comforting. It's not the most comforting oracle deck. That is probably one of the most positive and comforting oracle cards I've ever picked. It's relatively new, so I've never seen this card before. And when I'm feeling like there's a whole new world, because I'm seeing you inside this egg, it's almost like you were incubating. Like, I almost get the sense, and with the coffin as well, it's like you felt like it's almost like you were alive, but you weren't living. And there's something about this connection that shows you a whole new side to the world that really makes you feel like you're alive, you're living, you're out in a completely different reality. It's very hard for me to put into words the way that I'm feeling. The example that's coming to my mind, and I have no idea if this is going to land because I don't know if you guys have read the books, but I'm currently reading Court of Thorns and Roses. And spoiler alert, skip ahead if you're going to read these books. I know I'm super late to the party anyway, so I feel like if you were going to read them, you probably would have, but skip ahead if you don't want a spoiler. But essentially, the human protagonist in the book goes over the wall to the Fae world, and it's like she experiences a whole new reality that's completely different from what she had experienced in the human world. Her family are taken care of, and she's no longer starving, and she doesn't have to hunt every single day for her food, and she can paint, and you know, she's in this beautiful castle with like all of her needs taken care of. And that is what I mean by a whole different reality. It's like she didn't believe that anything better existed. I'm pretty sure there's a line in the book where she was like, her dad said to her, "Oh, you should let your sister dream of a better world." And she was like, "That doesn't exist." And she meant it because she really believed that. And then she went over the wall and, you know, she says like a new reality, a better world does exist. It's out there and I've experienced it, right? So there's something about this connection that allows you to experience a better world. It's not just like a new reality that's completely disorientating and weird. Um, that's just like a mirror to this one, but like different. It is 100% better. It's an improvement. Hallelujah. So we're going to get into the cards. I don't know. I get the sense that Spirit might be concentrating a bit on you in this reading. But we'll see. I don't know what kind of situation you're in, but it just feels like you've been lost under layers and layers of this kind of numbness, this deep sadness that's settled into your bones, the very fabric of your life, to the point where you've completely lost hope. And it essentially feels like that is when this person comes through and shows you this whole new world. And I will say this as well. This does not feel like, oh, it's just because of them. Like, it's the way their energy feels. That is the reason why you're experiencing this whole new world. It's actually, they are showing you a whole new world. Does that make sense? Like, it's not just the way their love feels. It's also, yeah, it's also the world they're showing you. We need to get into this. Give me one moment. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. We're going to be using Tower of the Divine. Okay. Sorry, guys. If you notice that the camera's moving around, it's because people keep disturbing me as I'm doing this. Okay, I'm so sorry. But we are back. Hello. Although no time has passed for you at all. So we're going to look at your tarot cards. And we're going to see... Tell me about pile number one's relationship with their future spouse. Pile number one's relationship with their future spouse. We have the Six of Cups. Oh, that actually came out for pile number one, but a completely different context. This honestly feels like we have the Three of Swords. Either this is someone you knew from childhood, or this is an energy you have connected to before, like when you were young. I'm honestly getting the message, and this could be for one specific person. I'm seeing like a child with an imaginary friend, except the energy you were connecting to was actually a real person, and it was your future spouse. We have the Ten of Wands. Tell me about pile number one's connection with their future spouse. Cards are going crazy in my hands. We have the Page of Coins. We have the Knight of Cups. One more, please, Spirit Guides. And we have the Four of Swords. The back of the deck, we have the Hierophant. Examples from that book that I was reading, I've finished it already. Examples from the book, Court of Thorn and Roses. Sorry, my foot's just coming across the camera. Is coming through so strongly in this reading. I don't know if some of you guys need to read that book. If you were looking for a sign to read that book, this is your sign, because I don't know, there's something that's being mirrored in the storyline. There's something for you guys in that storyline, seriously. So if you feel called to read that book, get on it. This feels like a person that recognizes you. Now, obviously, if you knew this person from childhood, then yeah, they will recognize you, but they recognize that you are their person. For sure. When I'm looking at the Six of Cups, I'm like, 100% this person recognizes you like that. They recognize you immediately. If this is someone you've known since childhood and they're like a childhood friend or something, they have always known. They were waiting for you to get there, or hoping you would get there. They have always deeply cared about you. For a lot of you guys as well, though, this could be in spirit, in energy. It feels like they're almost serving as a guide, that like their soul is a guide, or their higher self has been a spirit guide for you throughout your life. You might have synchronicities surrounding birds, or it feels like anything that's flying. It feels like they could be I'm seeing dragonflies as well. So whatever's flying For some reason, there could be some kind of synchronicity or something you recognize about those kinds of animals that serve as guides, serve as spiritual protectors. And it feels like your future spouse is one of them. Or this is the sign that they come to you as. This is the sign that they use. I really get this because the way that this crow is just perched on top of the house and they don't even realize it's there. There is something about them protecting you and watching over you, and you maybe don't even realize it, or you haven't realized it. Now, I don't want that to sound creepy because it's not. This could just be purely from an energetic level, but some of you, this, if you know this person, if this is like a childhood friend or something, they might have done things in the past that they've protected you or been looking out for you, and you maybe haven't realized that they've done certain things for you. Yeah, this feels like a very protective energy. This feels like someone that really wants to look out for you and make sure you're okay, first and foremost. Like that is their like ultimate goal. They want you to be happy and they want you to be safe. That song is coming through again. Both got a past full of sorrow. Yeah, there's something in these piles of... But honestly, when I'm tapping into the way your future spouse feels, it feels different from pile one. Pile one felt very much like, oh, we connect because our sorrows or our griefs of the past are the same or they mirror each other. Yours feels very much like they don't necessarily mirror each other, but they recognize it in you. They can see what you've been through, and maybe this is because they have also been through hardship, so they know what that feels like. But even if they haven't, I mean, everyone goes through hardship, but like there is something here about like even if your circumstances they can't imagine going through what you've been through, because there is something here where it feels like your light has been diminished for some reason. You might be really struggling with your mental health. That might have been a constant thing for you, especially depression. You might unfortunately have encountered a lot of trauma in your life. And there's something about the fact that in your relationship, they can see it really deeply and they really know how to treat it. Like that's the only way I can really express it. They really know how to treat your trauma. They really know how to treat your pain. It's like they've got the ointment, they've got the right words or the right action or the right energy to help heal you. And obviously, you know, we do heal ourselves, but we also heal in union with others. And there's something about where they don't necessarily feel like they're bringing a lot of their own trauma to the relationship and you're kind of healing it together. It very much feels like Spirit has put this person in your path because you deserve, well, everyone deserves this, but I'm feeling, anyway, I'm going to not get lost in that. You deserve to have someone who can help you for once. Like, to have someone really on your side, it can almost make me cry. Like, to have someone that's really rooting for you and is really able to take care of you without you being so worried about them. Does that make sense? Like, for the first time, it doesn't feel like, oh, they take care of me and I've got to be worried about them and I can't say too much because I know they're going through this and I know they've got this to deal with. And you might do that anyway. You might do that anyway. But it really feels like this person's good. Like, they're able to carry it with this Ten of Wands. Like, they're really able to hold it with you. As much as is possible in that sort of, you know, as much as is possible. Um, yeah, this feels like a place you can honestly collapse. And that might sound kind of crazy, but I don't think that you've been able to just collapse. Like I with the Four of Swords here, I don't think you've been able to actually rest. And I think that that is what yeah, I'm hearing that song by Janae. Rest your weary heart, dry your teary eyes. I know you are something torn apart inside. Yeah, because Born Tired. I'll link that below. Um, what you really need is a safe place to rest. And this is not, just physical rest. This is actually emotional rest. There is, I keep wanting to cry. There is something about the emotional safety that this person brings to your life that I can just feel the way that you can completely fall apart here. And it's so healing because it's exactly what you've needed. God, I'm not crying in this reading. It's exactly what you've needed all this time, and I can feel how relentless it is. I can literally feel it from you, and there's nowhere that's safe, and there's all these dark corners and sharp edges and wounds and this and that, and there is no time, there is no rest. You're always on guard. You always have to watch, and it's taken you to this place where you just feel a bit maybe numb or empty or just almost like you've given up, you know? Um, and I think that you've done that, like your body or your brain has done that, this numbness, to try and give yourself rest. Oh my God. To try and achieve some level of rest so it doesn't feel so relentless. Your brain has actually done that. Like they have numbed themselves. Your whole system has kind of numbed itself so it can attempt to give you something, attempt to give you the rest you so desperately need. Um, and I think that what this person brings is also joy. You're able to be experience just like simple joy, um, without worrying, without being scared, without watching over your shoulder. Like this is a feeling of just being so safe. And that's what I mean by like a whole new world. It's like I'm getting a quote from a dream I had before I came into union with my fiance. I had a dream where I couldn't see the man's face. I could only see his hands. And we were in a pool. This is back when I was like 14, by the way. Oh my gosh. This is really mirroring the situation. And I'd written a journal entry where I'd said, I'm safe and light and laughing in the arms of a man, and I cannot see his face, only his hands. There is something about those hands. Anyway, um, yeah, there is something about, the weightlessness of water, how you you don't have the same, it doesn't feel like you have the same body mass, like you can lift people up under the water. That is the way this relationship feels to me for you guys. It is such a heavy, heavy weight lifted off your shoulders. And the thing I want to say to you is when this comes in, please allow this person once you feel you can trust them. And I do think that there is an innate sense of your nervous system, your heart, and your gut will trust this person in a way that you usually wouldn't. And I'm thinking that your brain could throw things at you to try and keep you safe. Can we trust this? Can we? But there's something about your actual nervous system that overrides all of that. And I'm not saying don't feel those feelings. Like, if you feel it, allow it to be there. Don't just repress it. But yeah, there's something about the confirmation is in your gut. There is something that just feels safe about this connection. Wow. Yeah. There is so much healing taking place here. And you know what I'm feeling? Like, it's not the sort of healing that sort of rips you apart. And it's not the kind of transformation that is, you know, those really dense, dark transformations that kind of rip you apart. And even when we read this rebirth card from the Snow White, it was like, what were the words they used? We must go back to it, because I just really want to reiterate this. I know transformation can often feel like it's like a tower moment and something that's kind of really, really difficult. Snow White wakes up from her wintry state and arises from her glass coffin, warm and alive and laughing, and ready to fall in love and begin the cycle of life once more. Warm and alive and laughing. There is something incredibly joyful about this process. This is not heavy, and that weightlessness of water I was feeling. It's the way you need healing is not through going through every single one of your traumas and, like, you know, rehashing all of it and like going through a really painful process. It's actually fun, and it's love that feels safe, and it's laughter, and it's joy, and it's having fun. I'm pretty sure I've already said that, but I will say it again. And it's adventure, and it's this person that, even amongst all of that, when something comes up for you, you don't have to just handle it alone. You don't have to sit by yourself alone. And it means that because you have this person with you, you'll actually find that when those feelings come up, they're way less scary. They don't feel scary anymore. And also, it feels like it passes much quicker. You might find that in the past, when those feelings came up, the reason you were so scared is it could have you down for weeks or days at a time. You know, can't get out of bed, can't do anything. And yet you'll find that because you have this person that you can, like, speak to, and I'm gonna cry again. You can speak to, and you can cry with, and you can share with someone to give you comfort. It just passes so much faster. You know, that feeling doesn't completely consume you anymore. And that is part of the rest, where you actually feel like you're releasing something or you're moving through something, and it just doesn't feel so isolated and alone anymore. Wow. Your reading has me in tears, really fighting to not start crying on camera. You think, like, whose reading is this? So yes, there is rest, but it's mental rest, which is, it's restoration. That is the way that I would describe this relationship. It is restoration, 100 billion%. I'm just going to check the back of the deck here. Oh, look at that. We have the 9 of Cups at the back of the deck. It's like wish fulfillment. And the front of the deck, we have the Hierophant. I don't know if I showed you guys this. This is definitely a situation that is revolving around traditional commitment. There is something that this person is incredibly committed to you. So maybe it doesn't have to be traditional, but this person is incredibly traditional. I'm getting the word steadfast. they 100%, they have got your back. Every single time I talk about it, it just makes me want to cry. Like, they have really, really got your back. Don't. I can't even go there. I can't even go down that train of thought because I will start crying. Um, yeah, they really, really have your back. They are looking out for you. Like, they truly, truly, they love you. They really do. They would do anything for you. Seriously. With the Knight of Cups here, honestly, this is a really difficult reading to do. With the Knight of Cups here, um, they are such a sweet, gentle, poetic, romantic person, but they are also so brave and so they are so ready to stand up for you. They are so ready to fight for you. They are so ready to do whatever it takes to make sure that you're good and that you're happy and that nothing or nobody harms you anymore. Um, they feel like they have a very free-flowing, kind of adventurous spirit. Um, they might be someone that shows you a world that feels a lot closer to the earth. And what I mean by that is like working with the earth. You know, like they might know a lot about plants or different animals or different insects or and things like this, what herbs to work with. Like they feel like they're very connected to the earth. I'm hearing Earth Mother. Um and it feels like they show you this. And can we stop with the crying, please? Okay. It feels like they show you this and it's a joy that you both do together, and it's just so relaxing and gentle and sweet. Honestly, this is why it's honestly sometimes better to do these readings with like just my hands, because now you guys are just being like, she's tearing up again. um this is their essence. This Knight of Cups, sorry. When I tap into the way they feel about you, it's just the most beautiful thing in the world. Like it is like something from, you know, those fantasy romance books. Like literally the way they feel about you is that. It is so devoted. Like it's so devoted. They are completely devoted to you. They are honorable and they are kind and they only want the best for you. Why do we have the Page of Coins here? Again, we have this figure with very close to these animals. You might find or recognize them. Something you might really notice about them is that animals and children, babies, people in general, but especially, you know how we say like animals and children are very pure? Um, this is like, you might find that animals and children are very drawn to them, that they also immediately trust them. And it's because it's honestly mirroring their spirit. That's why they trust them, because they are also such a pure soul, like such a beautiful, beautiful person. Like, honestly, you are going to feel like the luckiest person in the world, and they are going to make it very clear that they also feel like the luckiest person in the world. Like, absolutely adore you. Seriously. Absolutely adore you. And they are never going to hide that. you're never going to have to question that. You're never going to be like, oh, I wonder how they feel. Like, they're very expressive. They are the type of person who would write like a love letter, or like those super long paragraphs on text or whatever, if they're not writing a physical letter, just like pouring their heart out to you. Like, they are very, very much into letting you know the way that they feel about you and how special you are to them and how much they care. Like, they really, really show that, especially through their words. You might be big words of affirmation, that might be like your top love language. They might be a beautiful writer or an artist. They feel like kind of artistic or creative in some way. Um, Again, very good with their hands, but it more feels like working with the earth. So they might be fantastic gardeners. Um, yeah, but it feels like more animal centered, honestly. They might work with animals in some capacity, or they might have a lot of animals. Um, I'm gonna get some moonology cards. Maybe we can stop me from bursting into tears every 2 seconds. So sorry, guys. That honestly never happens to me, by the way. Like, that rarely happens to me when I'm doing a reading for myself. So that really doesn't happen very often when I'm doing a reading for someone else. But I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, this connection is so special. For my pile number twos, please, can we get some messages from their future spouse? We have work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. Interesting. So one thing I will say before this goes out of my mind, when I'm looking at this card, the message I feel coming from them is like, do not believe that you have to be in a certain place to deserve this, because you deserve this right now. And if I could be here right now, I would be here right now. But they are saying like, one thing you could try and do is, I got prepare your heart for me. So there's something about maybe some beliefs that you've held about love, about what is possible for you to experience in this life. And there's something about, because I'm seeing like a cushion, like a really luxurious looking pillow. And it's almost like you're placing your heart on top of that. It's almost like, prepare the table, prepare the space for me to come in. Does that make any sense? Like, prepare your heart for this dream. With work through your fears. It's almost a reassurance, like, you're not going to end up alone. You're not going to never find someone. Like, I'm here. So just get ready. Like, try and work through that voice in your head that says that you're never going to experience this, because you are. So again, I just want to reiterate, this is not a prerequisite for them coming in. Oh, I've got to move through these fears for this person to come in. Not at all. It's just saying that's something you could do. We have a personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. You guys have something coming in. And I want to say that your future spouse is saying something related to maybe your home life, your home situation. Your future spouse is saying it's a spark, it's a sign, it's the movement. It's a sign, honestly. There is something entirely separate to them that is miraculously working itself out very soon for you. And your future spouse is saying it's a sign. It's a sign that you're on the road to meeting me. It's a sign that I'm close. And the last one we have is take time to breathe out, disseminating moon. I'm just going to take one more. I'm getting that Janae Aiko song Born Tired again, so maybe some of you guys, if you feel called to, maybe listen to it. Messages. And meditate and contemplate new moon in Pisces. Isn't Janae Aiko a Pisces? Anyway, sorry, I'm not just going to keep talking about Janae Aiko. Oh, sorry, we had a time to give rather than take. New moon in Virgo at the back of the deck. I really think that your future spouse, and this is the role that this is something they are 100% going to do with you once you're together, is that they are coming in to reassure you. Would this personal issue reaches resolution, take time to breathe out, meditate and contemplate? They're essentially saying some sort of problem, and I do feel because it's full moon in Cancer, this could have something to do with your home, your roots, your family, or something like that, like this. I'm feeling home actually for a lot of you guys is about to reach, a conclusion, is about to, as I said before, miraculously work itself out. There's about to be a way out. Your luck is turning. My luck's beginning to turn. And your future spouse is coming in to say when this happens, but even now, but especially when this reaches resolution, they really, really want you to, honestly, they want this even when you're together. They want you to be able to relax. They want you to take some time for yourself. They want you to do something you love. They want you to treat yourself more kindly. They want you to be gentle with yourself. I'm honestly hearing if you can't do it for yourself, then do it for me. They feel very, very connected to you energetically. Like it really feels like your energy is very much right here. Have some of you met this person? I don't know, but like it feels like their messages coming through are like, I'm here. But anyway, they really want you to, I don't know, I think they want you to daydream and get like lost in music, because I'm seeing someone lying in bed with their headphones on in like a cute little room with like their lights on. It's kind of like evening time. Because I'm seeing those like LED lights, or like people that have their whole lighting set up. Sometimes I see it on like TikTok and stuff where I see people with like such a cute like little cozy bedroom, and I'm seeing you, well, I'm not seeing you, but I'm seeing somebody lying on their bed with like their headphones on, like listening to music, or they're like playing a game, but it feels like it's very much like an imagination fantasy kind of based practice that you're engaging in that really feels like it's you truly relaxing. It feels super cozy. And I think this is a focus here on self-care and whatever that looks like to you, basically. That's what they're really pushing forward. That's what they really want you to do. They want you to just take it as easy as you can. And especially feel like this coming through, that's how I knew they were a guide for you. I absolutely knew it. Because they're coming through, or their higher self is coming through to say, it will be far easier for you to be able to do this once this issue has resolved itself. So this might be different for all of you, but I could definitely see how for a lot of you this has to do with your living situation. You will be able to a lot more, have that cozy space, be able to relax, be able to take it easy. Sorry for hitting the mic. And be able to truly indulge in the things that you want. And they really don't want you to feel guilty for that. They really want you to take care of yourself. Self-care is really up there. Again, whatever that means for you, and in whatever capacity you're able to do it, they really, really want you to do it. Do not push yourself any further. And even with the time to give rather than take, this feels like when they meet you or when you're in union together, this is what they want to do to you. Sorry, that sounded really crazy. This is what they want to provide you with, is to give to you, and you can simply receive this care and attention and love. And this is this relaxation energy. Like I think that the more also you get into this energy of like taking it easy and taking really good care of yourself, and the self-care and the, ooh, this is a clue, and the self-care and the, you know, being really cozy and like in your kind of bubble, in your like, it feels like you guys are like kind of like me, you can get lost in sort of like the crown chakra, the imagination, the kind of fantasy world. Um, Actually, the more you do that, the more you kind of pull each other, like you pull each other into each other's energy, into meeting. Does that make sense? Like they're kind of giving you covert instructions to be able to facilitate your meeting. Um, and yeah, this is really also a time to give to yourself, to pour into yourself, um, until you're able to be in union and they can do that for you as well. So pile number two, um, that was really beautiful to tap into, honestly. I really, really hope I did this reading justice. I really do. I'm sorry for being incredibly emotional throughout your reading. Um, Please, please let me know down below if it resonated in the comments. If you've already met this person and this reading just served as confirmation, like and subscribe if you feel inclined to do so. And once again, if you have any suggestions for any videos you would like to see covered on this channel, let me know. And especially if you have any further future spouse questions, let me know down below. I hope you really take care of yourselves, pile number two, and I will see you in my next one. Okay, bye-bye. Hello, pile number three. Welcome to your future spouse reading. Now, let me tell you something. The millisecond I tapped into this pile, I was immediately like, love letter. I'm giving them a love letter. So I think this message is coming, instead of coming like from spirit, what spirit wants to tell you, this is directly coming from your future spouse. They've got something to say. They want to tell you something. So we're starting with my Sacred Forest Oracle deck. We're going to see, what does pile number three's future spouse want to tell you? What do they want to say? What message do they want to relay? Are they a rapper? Let's see. Or a poet? We have Bluebell Fairy Gratitude. There's a song called by Mahalia. She's an artist in the UK called Grateful. I'm going to link that down below. There is a lot of music coming through today, so I'm going to have a lot of songs to link below. But I would pay, especially if you don't want to listen to the song, pay attention to the lyrics, because I feel like there's a message in those lyrics. They might be sending you messages through music, through lyrics, the songs. My pile number three is, what does their future spouse want to say? Rainbow Waterfall Miracles. Guys, I love love. Oh my god. Pile number three is future spouse. What do they want to tell them? One more, please. There are so many things they want to say to you, like literally. We could be here all day. We have Wise Woman of the Grove, Grace. This is really specific. Some of you might have already gotten information about your future spouse through a reader or someone, some kind of psychic or someone you've gone to. Or maybe you will run into a woman who has given you information and you might not necessarily have trusted it at the time, but there's something about the information she's given you, a very specific key part of the information that you realize will actually come true. Like they're saying to you right now, like, no, it's real. Like whatever they said to you, it's true. We have Elves, Playfulness. And we have Raven Spirit, Truth. The big true, just as I was saying, it's the truth. Ooh, okay. Now, okay. I don't know, like, I really get this sense because I'm looking at gratitude. For some of you, you might have already met this person. This might be someone that's already in your life. Um, if that is the case, if they are already in your life, I'm really strongly getting the message of like, I am so grateful that you've come into my world. Like the way that you have transformed me, what you add to my life, everything that your love does for me is just like, it makes me feel it makes me feel like I can do anything. It makes me feel so hopeful. It makes me feel so light. It makes me feel so joyful. With the number 6 here, fun fact, I'm a life path 6. Um, there's really something that's connecting so deeply with the heart chakra and with the energy of like universal love. There is something that they want to tell you about the way that your love makes them feel whole. Um, I'm almost feeling like they're saying, I don't give a damn about the people that say you're incomplete without the other person. Like, I am incomplete without you. You know, like, I need you. You make me feel whole. You make me feel like I'm not missing something. Like I'm not missing a limb. Um, honestly, okay, anyway. This does honestly feel like you guys have met this person because they're almost saying, for some of you, I'm getting, we will transcend this. Like, we will turn this situation around. This situation will change. Um, for others of you, if you have not met this person, you to them, they are relaying the message that you to them, you feel like something miraculous. With the rainbow here, what I mean by that is with the rainbow here, I'm taken to the biblical story of Noah's Ark and the way the rainbow is associated with a covenant with God that, you know, they would never flood the world again. It's like a promise from God, almost of a brighter future. And that is what you represent to this person. You represent this bright future. You represent all these possibilities, all these things that they thought might not exist or might be impossible for them to experience. You have completely been what they didn't even dare themselves to dream of. That is what you represent to this person. And so, whether you've met them or not, they do feel energetically very connected to you. It feels like they are actively wishing for you, dreaming of you. And maybe that dream even feels too good to be true. I'm telling you, this person feels like they might do something to do with rhyming. That's why I said, are they a rapper? Are they a poet? Something? A lyricist? A songwriter? Uh, why do we have playfulness? I don't know. It's the way that the way you're making me feel. It's the way that you make them feel is there is this deep ocean of feeling. There is this depth to the way that they feel about you. It is like this never ending pit almost. And it's not a negative thing. It's just like if you were to fall down the chambers of their heart, it would never end. You would never reach the bottom, essentially, is the way, God, they're very, very poetic, is the way that they feel about you. Because I'm just going down this like tunnel and I'm never reaching the bottom. It feels like it's just never ending. But also you bring this spark, this light. They're taking me to your eyes. And it's almost like they're watching you as you're talking or laughing, and they're really noticing the way your eyes look, like the spark in your eyes. I'm almost feeling them saying, like, I didn't really understand that. Oh, I thought it was just a trope, like their eyes are twinkling, or like they had a twinkle in their eyes until I met you, until I was watching you, and I notice all these things about you. I'm constantly noticing of every beautiful thing about you. It honestly reminds me, I saw a TikTok the other day of this girl's friend who was like, um, you are like the sparkles that the ocean makes, like the waves make. And she like zoomed into a picture and it was like the ocean sparkling as the like waves came up. And they're showing me that as a way to explain your eyes. Some of you guys might have dimples because they're showing me your smile and like two dimples. It feels like they've studied your face. This is why I'm like, I definitely feel like you guys have met this person. Like I genuinely do feel that way. Um, and I'm seeing them saying like I just have so much fun with you. I could be doing nothing and I would just be having fun. Like I have so much fun with you. I'm seeing two people sat down talking and just laughing, and time is just escaping. Like you completely forget what time it is. You completely forget like everyone else around you. It's just you two absorbed. And whilst this message pertained to a very specific message that you might have got insight into who this person is or how you'll meet or something along those lines, how I was saying like, no, it's true. Because there does feel like there's an element to your connection or the way you meet or something about this that feels kind of, I want to say the word far-fetched. Like there's something about this that feels kind of far-fetched. Like, oh yeah, like that's really gonna happen. Like it's almost like you've gone to someone or someone's told you something and you've been like, I don't think so. Like I like yeah, I'm sure you say that to everyone kind of thing, and that the your future spouse is being like, no, it's true. Like it's real. Um they might even be a photographer because there's something about your face, like it's really zooming into your face. Like they are taking in every single little aspect of your face. Um, but it's also a promise with Raven Spirit Truth here. Now, for you guys, this could be one of the most important things that you're looking for in a partner, which is honesty. And I know obviously we all would love our partner to be honest, but if we have specific wounds around deception or trickery or manipulation and things like that, it might become top of our priority list in a way that, like, obviously, if we haven't experienced that before, it might not be such a necessity or so high on our it wouldn't be so on our minds. So some of you guys might have dealt with that in the past, and they are coming through to really, really strongly say, I would never lie to you. Um, it's honestly coming through it's honestly coming through kind of funny. And I'm assuming because this is your future spouse, obviously discard things if it doesn't sound like something you would be into. But when they're saying this, they really, really mean it. Like, for example, um, I'm honestly getting like fashion. Like, for example, I can see you guys having a lot of fun of like, I can see you trying on an outfit and then being like, sorry, it's making me laugh, but then being like, no. I don't think this looks right. Not in a controlling way or like they're demeaning you, but just like, I don't know. I see you guys just having a really playful relationship. Like, it's really coming through. Like, you guys laughing together. Like, they prove that they're honest in basically what I think they're trying to say is they will prove they're honest in they're not even going to tell white lies, basically. Um, they are incredibly transparent, and it's definitely not in a mean way. They're not really tactless and one of those people that's like, I just keep it real and I tell it how it is, and it's just like, no, that's rude. They're not that kind of person. They just they are, as I said, studying you. And so even if you mention something you might have gone through in the past, or they pick up on the fact that maybe, people have not always been honest with you, um, not only is that just who they are a very honest person, they are very much truth seeking, they really value the truth. Um, they value things being fair, things being transparent. I'm honestly getting Aquarius and Libra for this pile. I haven't got any signs for the past piles, but especially Aquarius actually was coming through really strongly. in this pile. I find Aquariuses really are quite truthful. Mostly because they don't care, so it's like, well, why wouldn't I tell the truth? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this person is very, very committed to telling the truth, and I'm seeing that when they notice that that is especially important to you, they really make sure that even they don't even tell lies in very like superficial ways. You know, like how some of us might be like tell little white lies of like, oh yeah, I'm 15 minutes away and I'm actually half an hour, or I haven't even left my house yet. Like, this is the sort of person that will absolutely tell you the truth because they don't want you to ever A, be triggered, but to B, doubt them. In their mind, yeah, they're putting me in the space of it. They really feel like I'm bringing my A game. There's no way I'm fucking this up. Like, seriously, that's the way that they feel. They see you as like a dream come true. Like, if you can imagine crafting your dream person, not compromising, and then you actually meet them, like they're showing me they're like trying to, you actually meet them, you're gonna be on your A game. You're gonna be bringing all, really, really trying to make sure that they do not mess this up. Like, they are so serious and committed to being with you. Take me down to a deeper layer. This person is very playful, but they also have this very deep, vulnerable side to them that they want to express. This deep, vulnerable side to them that is very, very gentle and very, very soft. And they're almost telling you, like, the joking and the laughter is only a small part of the way I am and the way I feel. And they're working on being even more expressive with that because they want you to know. They don't want you to just think that you're like like laughing around kind of jokester. I feel like you guys have met this person. Let me know in the comments if you have. Anyway, we're going to move to the tarot so we can pull some more about what they want to tell you. So for my pile number 3s, please, what does their future spouse want to tell them? We have the Well. We have the Wheel of Fortune. This is again like that Miracles card, right? It feels like they won the lottery with you. Truly. There might be something very, very serendipitous about the way that you meet each other. We have the Four of Pentacles. I'm hearing take as much time as you need for that Four of Pentacles. We have the Empress. Of course we do. Period. We have the Eight of Cups. Janae Aiko is coming through in every single pile today, so I'm sorry. But I got the lyric, let's cancel everything tomorrow. I always get lost in the moment with you. We have Three of Wands at the back of the deck. The Chariot at the front of the deck. And we have Judgment. Sorry guys, it is hot up here. And the Nine of Cups. So, whether you've met this person or not, either this is going to serve as confirmation or as information. There is something that they're telling you about the way that you meet, especially they're bringing me here first. And the thing about it is, on some level, it feels like they imagined this, or they had some kind of intuitive download, or they knew on some level when they were going to meet you in some way, shape, or form. Maybe they woke up that morning. This morning, weird. Maybe they woke up that morning, or they feel like they're going to wake up and know. And there's something about your meeting that feels really magical and feels like, as I said, very serendipitous. And I'm almost seeing like it kind of blows their mind. There is something especially significant about the way that you guys meet. Like it feels like you meet and they know through your meeting who you are. Because it mirrors something that they already suspected, or they already dreamt up, or they'd already crafted in their head. Like it's exactly mirrored. And what I was saying before about this wise woman of grace, like how you might have received information already, it feels like that happens on both sides. So there is something miraculous about your coming together, that they want to highlight. With the Four of Pentacles here, and take your time, they really, okay, let me just get in here. This is a relationship that I feel they will really let you call the shots. There is this like way that they view you. Yeah, they're showing me as like this queen who, or king, but I'm seeing queen maybe because I'm seeing the empress. This kind of royalty that I'm hearing, I'm just a lowly servant. It's like they want to fulfill all your dreams, your wishes. They see you as this figure of like anything for you and it will be done. Like that is the kind of energy they're bringing to this connection. Yeah, it really feels like they want to serve you. So they are very, very respectful of your boundaries and where you're at. So if you say like, I'm not ready to do that, that's not going to work for me, they are completely like, okay, well, what do you want to do? Or, I don't want to eat that, or I don't want to go on that kind of date. They're like, okay, so do you want to do this? Do you want to do, like, there is very much like, we will go at your pace. We will go with your wishes. And this isn't because they don't value their own desires. This isn't someone who completely just folds and molds themselves to be whatever you want to be. This is someone that is so happy, honestly, to be with you, that making you happy is what their wishes are. So they are big on kind of, yeah, making your dreams come true. And you will find that progressively increasing as you go along your relationship. So this is not someone who's going to come in and completely love bomb you and be really intense and fall off after 3 months. This is someone who will continuously bring that energy, I'm hearing, into old age. Like, they will build you what you want to be built. They will, I'm seeing someone like has a dream of having like a, because I'm seeing like a room full of books, like bookshelves and stuff, like a study or like a library. I'm seeing that being built for you. Like it's just like whatever your wish is my command kind of thing. That's why I was getting that kind of like queen or like royalty energy of like, I just want you to be pleased. And that's what brings me joy. Uh, they really want to serve you, kind of. Um, I mean, this must be for you. You must be like, yes. So that's what they're bringing for the table. And I do feel with the Four of Pentacles, like some of you might be mm, slightly more on guard when you meet this person. Um, you might have quite strong boundaries, which is obviously not a bad thing. And they're really saying, I will completely go at your pace. Like, I will completely and utterly go at the pace you are comfortable with. I in no way want to push myself upon this. Like, I want you to be as comfortable as possible. Why do we have the Eight of Cups here? This person also wants to tell you that they are willing to walk away from I'm trying to explain this energy, but it's like if something was harming this relationship in any way, shape, or form, whatever it is, not they are more than happy to walk away from it if it brings more harmony to you guys. And they're also saying you make it worth it. So they might have, or your connection for some reason might mean that they have to walk away from something, but they can see that what they have with you is always going to be where their true fulfillment really lies, is where their Nine of Cups, like we see here, is going to be. You know, they know that they're walking into something better, more suited for them. They are reiterating here again with the Nine of Cups, like this is a dream come true. This is a wish come true. So just before you meet this person, or if you've already met them, this could be confirmation that they have just left a situation behind because they knew that there was more out there, and this is when you meet them. Or it could be for some of you like a long distance situation where, you know, maybe they did have a comfortable job and a comfortable life, but they are more than happy to relocate for you because they know that with you, that is where their true happiness is. And this is what I mean by the Empress card. Like, they are willing to do it, and it's not anything to them. Like, to them, it's just like, well, obviously, because this is what I really want. And I hope this is not coming off intense of you being like, that seems like a bit much. It's just that, you know, this is all they've ever wanted. You are the person of their dreams. Like, this is coming through time and time again. You are the person of their dreams. It's like you've been dropped from the sky, like a wish come true. So whatever it takes, really, with this person is I'm like, we've got devoted before, we've got committed before, but this person is very, very much, very much into showing it. They are very much an action-based person. And that's maybe one I was picking up on before, when it was like they're working on being more like communicating that through words more. They might have a hard time maybe sometimes fully putting their depth of feeling into words. Like, I very much think they'll be big on words of affirmation. They'll be very much hyping you up. They'll be very much telling you incredible, telling you look beautiful, making you feel very, very special. But they might struggle to really convey how deeply they feel for you. Because this person very much is showing it. Oh, you want this thing? Let's do it. Oh, you want that? I'll get it for you. Oh, you need me to go there? I'll do it for you. Like, they're very much at your beck and call. But again, yeah, they're working on really being able to tell you that. This is a person that might. This is the reason why I was maybe picking up on like a writer or something. They might reserve those deeper feelings for when they're writing. And it might be something that they take a while to show you, because this person does feel like they have very much like a jovial kind of exterior, and they might kind of use that sometimes as a shield to shield some of those deeper feelings. Like, they might tell you something quite deep and kind of do it in a jokey way, and it might take you a minute to like pick up on the fact that, like, wait, they actually said that, and that was kind of serious. Like, that was kind of like a big thing. Like, for example, I'm even seeing this person saying things like, oh, I love you, I'm so obsessed with you. And you're like, wait, is that a joke, or do they actually mean that? Like, but the thing is, they do, but there's something about them not feeling entirely comfortable to say it seriously in the beginning. And I guess they're just explaining that because they don't want you to feel like this is all they are. Why do we have judgment here? I'm hearing you rock my world. On a deeper note, on a serious note, I think that especially if you guys got into any kind of trouble, like say if you got into any kind of trouble or you got into conflict with them, you would see a side to them that really, really shows you just how meaningful this connection is to them. I don't know why that's particularly coming through, but it seems like it is. Um, the way that they feel is that your relationship has completely changed the way that they even view the world, in the sense that when I think of the Judgment card, this really feels like a card of reckoning. It feels like an awakening. And they might have been a person in the past that really kind of tried to avoid those deeper feelings or didn't tap into them as much, didn't really let people see the deeper side to them. Um, they might have stayed in the shallow end a lot because they didn't find. Oh my god, you know what? Oh my god, oh my god, you know what that's reminding me of? Um, Bridgerton. You know how Benedict says that? How he says something about staying in the shallow end of conversation and stuff like that. It's like they meet you and they're able to go deep. They want to actually, and that's what this big reckoning feels like. Like all of a sudden they feel so serious. Um, it feels like there's a sense of purpose they find through this relationship. Um, it might have felt like the world was just a playground or they were doing things and I don't know, it was like there was like an undercurrent that was missing. There was a question of like, what is this all for? And you coming into their life gives them this renewed sense of I understand what I'm doing this for now. You know, like everything they've built, everything they've done, it seems like with you it makes sense. And this is when we start to get to their more serious side. It feels like I understand what this was for now, and it was for you. Um, and I'm hearing for the first time that doesn't scare me. I don't actually think, scrap that, I don't actually think that they have in any way, shape, or form experienced any sort of relationship like this before. Like, I'm not joking. I think that this person has been doing a lot of like, I don't want to say messing around, but kind of messing around. Like it was never that serious. Not that they're like someone that's like cheating and stuff like that. I don't feel like that, but it's just like their relationships have always stayed kind of here. There was never real depth feeling and fully falling in love and any of that. It was much more kind of playful and the stakes were pretty low. But they see you and they know what they want, and it's you. And they know that very quickly. And it is incredibly easy for them to commit to that because there's no doubt in their mind. Um, oh, okay. I'm seeing a child of like maybe 7 or 8 with blonde hair. And it feels like they were kind of sad as a child. Um, I don't know, there's something about them that feels kind of sad. Um, and maybe that's why the humor is coming through so strongly. Of like, they never want to be back in that place where everything felt kind of serious and deep and sad. Um, they really value that lightness. And I guess this is why it's coming through because they want to explain it. Because the last thing they would want is for you to view them the way maybe other people have viewed them. I don't think they've minded when other people have been like, oh, it's just like a joke, or he's just like always joking around, or they're always joking around. It's like, there is a man coming through quite strongly, actually. So I'm sorry I keep sticking to like man, woman. I don't mean to do that on purpose. It's because there's a very specific person coming through. This has happened in other readings before. I try and keep this gender neutral, but sometimes that does happen, so I do apologize because there's lots of you guys here. The last thing they'd want is for you to see them that way, because there is something that hurts them a bit when people think that of them. Because it feels very one-dimensional. There's something here when I'm looking at gratitude about you really seeing them for the first time. It feels like you make them feel very, very seen. I think this is why, yes, this is why they are so committed to you kind of having everything you want and being treated in this way, because what you give them, they feel like they can never repay. And that is the feeling of being truly seen, truly accepted. There is something with this person about acceptance, not feeling like they're ever truly seen and accepted, and that they truly belong. And there is such a deep gratitude for that they just don't feel they could ever pay back. And that is also part of the reason. I mean, obviously they just want you to be, you know, treated as well as you possibly could be, because that is what they feel you deserve. That is what you deserve. But it's also due to this. And I think the way they're looking at you is just like, and you make it look easy. Like you just do it. You know, you do it like it's the most natural thing in the world. And yes, they're incredibly grateful for that. Three of Wands again is perhaps confirming that this could be a long distance situation. But as I said, they are more than willing to relocate. Like there's no question about that. Sorry, I was thinking about what oracle deck to choose for the last cards. I'm going to pick the Moonology deck. So I wonder if we could get some insight into timing for this connection. We get some insight into the timing of this union. I'm just thinking. I feel like a hell of a lot of you guys have already met them though. A new start is coming, a new moon. I said coming into union. So I want to say whatever the next step is, whether this is engagement, moving in together, becoming a couple, meeting for the first time, whatever this is, it is very much on its way. It feels like it's incoming. Sorry, that's too many cards. Oh no, actually, I'm going to take them. And one more, please, Spirit. You know what I feel about the way you guys meet? You guys might meet, and it might be a situation where you were going to go to something, and then you might have changed your mind, and then at the last minute you decide to go. I don't know why specifically I felt that, but the way I felt about those cards of like, no, I'm not going to take it. No, actually, I will. It was like at the very last minute, it was like, no, actually, I'm going to do it. And that is when you meet them. But you almost didn't go. Does that make sense? We have it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. Yeah, this feels like for you guys, this is probably a, you know, very different kind of relationship than what you've had in the past, because we've got luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius. This is what I mean again by that Wheel of Fortune energy. There's something very divine about the way you meet. There's something very like, honestly, kind of mind-bending, kind of crazy about the way that you guys meet. The energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. Or there's something in general about your connection that feels very much like it's tied to luck or destiny. big time. Fate. It feels very, very fated. Show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. There's that Aquarius energy happening again. Yes, they are very empowering. They really want you to be able to be yourself. They want you to, they are the sort of person that, like, as I said before, when I was like, you know, they really are very much like, I'm just a lowly servant. They very much want you to be able to be yourself. And by that, I mean, they are not the sort of person that's imposing any kind of rules or restrictions on you. Like, they're not the type of person that's like, oh no, you can't go clubbing, or you shouldn't be wearing that, or like blah blah blah. Like, they are not that person at all. With it's time to release negativity, I'm almost, first of all, I was getting the message of don't judge a book by its cover. And second of all, there seems to be a message here, and I don't know if it's coming directly from you, from them, sorry, or spirit, but there's a message here of like, try and reserve judgment, because I'm not what you're used to, or I'm not like these other people. Like, I'm someone completely different, and I'm not bringing the same energy to the table. And I'm not going to do all that extra stuff. Like, whatever you've gone through in the past, I'm not that. It's very much like, yeah, this is not the way it's happening here. But the energy is gaining momentum. I don't know, guys. The fact it feels like you've already met them. If you're watching this pile and you haven't met them, it is very much on the horizon. And I hate to give a timing, but the cards are really saying that. There is something about some element of luck. Just missing your flight and having to get on another one, and you meet them on that. Or not wanting, like, agreeing to go on a night out and then lying in bed for ages and running super late and thinking, I'm not going, I'm just going to take a nap, or I'm just going to go to sleep, sorry, I'm just going to stay in. And at the last minute you decide like, oh, do you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to get ready, I'm going to go. You meet them. Like, there's something about this that is just so, I keep harping on about it, but it's come up about 3 times. Like, it's really, really crazy. And a new start is coming. There we go. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get much clearer than that. So, pile number 3. I really hope I've done this reading justice. As I said in the intro, this reading is the whole reason, basically, I'm here. Me discovering a future spouse reading on YouTube is what led us to this point. So, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it resonated. If it did, please let me know. But God, I can't speak anymore. Please let me know down below in the comments. Like and subscribe if you feel inclined to do so. And if you have any suggestions related to future spouse readings or in general, I am more than open ears to any suggestions. I've got so many good suggestions written down already. So please do if you have anything you want to see on the channel. And take care of yourselves. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Okay? Bye-bye.